it's Jessica Goose here with RealAgriculture.com, and I am at the Canadian Beef Industry Conference held in Calgary, Alberta. Joining me right now is Portia MacDonald-Dewhirst, who is with the Canadian Agricultural Human Resources Council, or CAHRC for short. Portia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. Well, today, unfortunately, we are talking about labor shortages. And I say unfortunate because it's just not looking so good right now. Maybe first off, kind of look at it on the national side of what are we seeing as far as numbers?
So at CAHRC, we've been tracking the labor shortage for quite a few years. And what's troubling is when we started this issue, we noted that in 2004, the industry was short 30,000 workers. And moving forward into 2014 and now, based on numbers we've just released in 2018, we've seen a doubling of those numbers in that 10-year period to 63,000 workers short. And when we do projections to 2029, we see a doubling again to 123,000 workers short. So this is really concerning. We can't afford to grow as an industry and expand operations and move into new markets if we're unable to fill vacant positions and address the labor shortages head on.
Are there any things that kind of, I guess, stand out that's causing these labor shortages?
It's certainly not a quick fix. So typically what happens is the industry operates in rural environments, and the population in Canada is heavily invested in urban centers. So that's part of the problem. Those in urban centers are just not as attached to their agricultural roots and don't think about careers in agriculture or rural locations as they might have in the past. So those are some critical barriers that are a little bit challenging the industry and difficult to overcome.
And now, being at the Beef Industry Conference, you did speak to a group of producers here that wanted to know about what, the labor shortage kind of scope is. Speaking, I guess, specifically to the beef sector, are things looking good, better, or about the same with that it's not on the right track?
Yeah, in the beef industry, we're also seeing a picture that's not so rosy. What's happening is this is an industry that typically works late into their career, and so there have been shortages for sure to date, but when we look 10 years from now, we see a really big increase in the need to fill vacant positions because so many retirements are going to occur. So that's a big challenge. It's not just at the entry-level worker that we're going to need to find new people. We're also needing those experienced owners and operators and to find some replacements for them along the way. So a real challenge for this industry moving forward. And we know that vacancies have big impacts in terms of dollars and cents. And nationally, the numbers aren't very good. We've been tracking this for a number of years. In 2014, we identified that agri-food industry as a whole was losing $1.5 billion annually in lost sales revenue. And when we just ran the numbers in 2018, we've seen that in 4 years almost double to $2.9 billion. When we look at the beef industry in particular, we're also seeing some troubling trends, and the beef industry is losing over $300 million per year. It's a huge impact. Over 3% of their sales are lost simply due to vacant positions.
On the bright side of all of this, though, is that this is why we have CAHRC, is that I would say that the organization is great, and the fact that you have this kind of HR toolkit that's readily available to producers. So how does one get a hold of this? What is it all about? Because obviously I would assume that it would kind of help curb this issue because you would be able to retain your staff or to get more staff on board in regards to maybe temporary foreign workers.
Exactly. So we want, when there's any kind of labor shortage, to retain as many people as possible. We don't want to lose anybody to any other industry. So we've got to ensure that there are best practices being used in different operations across Canada in the beef industry. We want to make sure that supervisors, managers, owner-operators know what to do when managing their staff, and they're doing it against what the latest research says. So at CAHRC, we've developed an online resource, easy to use. We built it with farmers for farmers. That's the whole notion behind it. And it's a very easy to use online resource that includes instructions that are step-by-step, information, and downloadable tools and templates to help somebody who doesn't know about managing staff as their main profession, but has to do it in their daily job. It gives them the information they need to make sure they're compliant with provincial legislation, federal regulations, and doing the best they can with the staff they have. That toolkit also includes a new section about how to hire and manage foreign workers as well. And we're really proud of that. This toolkit, in fact, is now being taught in agriculture diploma and degree programs in colleges and universities across Canada. It's used as the textbook for students in those programs. So built by farmers for farmers, but it's also advantaging students as well.
Yeah, which is really good, especially for the labor that we're going to need in the future. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.